You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. This is Later with Mo Kelly, hosted by yours truly, Tawala Sharp. I produce Later with Mo Kelly, and now I'm sitting in the seat again. Used to do Soul Cow Saturday, and I said, tired of getting up on Saturdays and need my life back. But they said, Mo will be filling in for Handle. Can you hold it down for him? And of course I said, yeah, sure. Why not hold it down for Mo Kelly? Because sometimes I have a lot more to say than what I normally chime in with in the background. And I said to myself, I shall have my say today, good sir. Whole lot to talk about today. I want to definitely get into California's ranking as far as the most expensive states for small businesses. I'd like to, of course, get into the Disney neighborhood that has finally broken ground and people are moving into it. No, none of us will be moving into these $4 million palatial homes, but we can hope, and hope springs eternal. I have to talk about Play-Doh, or better yet, Hasbro, and how Hasbro is moving into a realm where kids, these toys are no longer for you. They're for individuals like Mark and Foosh and Michelle Kube, who's in the booth helping produce tonight's show. And I have to talk about the latest developments with Waymo. Not because, Mark Ronner, I'm on the take. No, no, sir.
Suspicious.
This is just the latest development and reasons why I want to point out the robot overlords will be taking over soon, and we better get on their good side. We'd better get on their good side.
Oh, I think you already are. I love it when you host, and I miss that old, is it Local Saturday? The
Local. SoCal Saturday.
I miss your old show, and I like it when the occasion arises that you get to host. You did some great stuff on your old show. People should know that.
I really appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you. I really trust your opinion, and I'm not being sarcastic. Don't you say I am. No, Foosh, how you doing tonight, good sir?
How you doing, sir? Ready to do it?
I'm fantastic. I love being here, talking with you all and sharing different thoughts and opinions on things. And today, while I work at the school that I work at, one of the main things, the main topics of discussion was, of course, the scuttling and dismantling of the education department, working within the school system for the better part of a decade now, and having children who are still within the school system. And of course, just being curious as to the who, what, why are we doing this? This was all we could talk about. It was literally, is this the end of education as we know it? And yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, President Trump has long expressed a desire to return control over education to states and local communities, so he says, and he's entrusted Linda McMahon, who is not an educator by any means, never has been, never was. Why she's in charge of the department, I have no idea. I have no idea why she has to do anything with education. Not hating on her. I'm sure she is a brilliant woman. But this is one of those things that makes me scratch my head. You know, when you think about the reasons why, as far as transferring the authority of education back to, or from the federal government back to local states, that sounds good on the surface, and how this could possibly help states to reshape education as we know it. I don't know. I mean, here in the United States, education is not, priority number one as it is. The thing that I think bothered me the most, and the thing that I push back the most in all of this, is this slippery slope that I feel we are on right now. There's been little things that have been happening within the realm of the federal government and state government, like, the notion of states making it mandatory to have things like the 10 Commandments in classrooms and bringing back prayer to schools. When you have a president who is talking about giving full immunity to police officers, local city police officers, say full immunity, and almost suggesting a connection between the United States government and local police forces, almost suggesting a state police. All these things, to me, and I'm not trying to be conspiratorial, but to me, these things are frightening because they reek of overreach. This reeks of a government that is making things seem fair, seeming things seems going to be okay. No, this is going to be good for the community. But is it? Is it really? Because I know, and if you're being honest with yourself, you know as well that you have often found yourself saying, I am sick and tired of the government getting into our personal business. But now, on the flip side of that, everything seems to be okay. And I don't agree with that. It fills me with fear, and maybe I'm being, insecure, or maybe I don't trust the government. I'm allowing that to color my view on this, but I don't think that I'm wrong. I don't think that our government right now should be dismantling the thing that we need to be cherishing and holding the highest right now. Education. Why do we want to risk disrupting, destroying, and tearing down the thing that we need the most? And this is not for you and I. You and I, we are old enough to know better. We're old enough to know right from wrong and this, that, and the other. But think about generations from now. Think about your great grandchildren. Think about their children, and think about how, if we're starting here, what is to say that within the next 2 presidential elections, we do have state-run education. We do have state police. We do have state media. If you think that's wrong, or you think that that's impossible, well, that's how it is in China. I'm sorry, but that is how it is in Russia. So if it is possible for places where, like it or not, our president gets a lot of ideas and is influenced, if you cannot see that that influence is somehow starting to eke its way into some of the decisions we're making, wow, then it's even worse off than I thought. And I know you're probably already warming up your thumbs. You're probably licking both fingers so you can get on your social media and reach out to call me everything but a child of God. I get it. You want to cuss me out, and I want to give you the opportunity to do so. You can reach me at Mr. Mo Kelly on all platforms. On all platforms. If you want to say anything, say, Tawala, you are out of your mind. You have no idea what you're talking about. Look, at Mr. Mo Kelly on all platforms. Please share your thoughts. Okay. Eventually he will get back to you and say, that wasn't me, man. That was Tawala.
Oh, unload on him. Yeah. Well,
unload.
As you know, Tawala, the one problem with America, too much education. So you've hit the nail on the head.
Oh, my
You ever watch Jimmy Kimmel when they go out in front of the El Capitan and interview people on the street?
Oh, yes.
They had one this week just asking people about Mount Rushmore. And if that is any indication of the state of where our education in the country is, well, we're doomed. I hope these people are never in charge of anything.
Well, one of them is. It's Linda McMahon.
Well, she was a nice pro wrestling lady.
She was.
Absolutely no experience or credentials in education, but why let that get in the way?
We're not. And that, sir, is what has me the most scared. This is KFI AM 640. We are live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Tawala Sharp filling in for Mo Kelly later on Mo Kelly. Something that I've long cared deeply for has been small businesses. It's one of the inspirations behind why Mo and I, when we had the Mo Kelly show on Saturdays started the Small Business Saturday shout outs. And it's something I carried over to SoulCal Saturday. And it's just, there's something about small businesses and how they serve as the backbone for our community, and why I think we always need to make sure that we are looking out for the little guy, and the little guy who ultimately is employing, many of our family members, is putting money back into the communities that we live in, and just making the neighborhoods just a nicer place to be. When you have that local barber shop, that burger joint, that clothing store, the hardware store, and maybe, and this is actually something I just thought about right now. I didn't even think about this before. Maybe it's because of growing up in Pasadena and Altadena, especially, where there were so many small businesses that just became cornerstones in my life, just seeing all that, why I care so much about small businesses. And then when I look here in Southern California at how many known and major businesses are shutting down, hundreds of thousands of locations, not across not just here, but across the country, from Big Lots and Party City, Macy's is scheduled to close some 150 underperforming stores here in California alone. CVS, where I get all of my prescriptions, they're closing down a boatload of stores. Walgreens, JCPenney's, Penny's, honestly, I don't shop at Penny's anyway, but Sears, Sears, no, not even, but Foot Locker, I shopped at Foot Locker. 7-Eleven, I'm one of the individuals that goes to 7-Eleven. I know Mo says don't go there unless your life depends on it, but I go to 7-Eleven. Okay. And I know I'm not alone, because Michelle Kube is a regular purchaser of Lotto tickets, and the only place you can get the really, really good Lotto tickets is 7-Eleven. Why? Because they're open all the damn time. You can go in any time and get Lotto tickets. So that's why I know I'm not alone in supporting 7-Eleven. Denny's? Come on, man. Denny's? Who doesn't love Denny's? Best Buy? I got something from Best Buy just the other day.
Me too.
Dude, how is Best Buy shutting down bunches of stores in Southern California? Just you and I alone, Foosh. We are probably keeping Best Buy alive out here.
I think so too.
Jeez Louise.
I want to know what you guys got at Best Buy. I haven't been in one of those in years, and I used to go constantly just as a nerd.
Okay, I don't know about Foosh. I went into Best Buy to get some action figures, because Best Buy,
of course you did.
They have the best deals on limited edition action figures, and I got a hold of a Dark Knight Batman set from the Frank Miller Dark Knight. There's a set where you have the huge oversized Batman and the Carrie Kelly Robin, and then you have the leader of the mob, the mutant leader. And so it's a really, really dope action figure set that was like $70. I got it like $30 at Best Buy. So that's why I'm upset about this.
Plus, I mean, they don't have it anymore, but you got to browse the CDs back in the day.
Back in the day.
That was cool. Because it wasn't like, it wasn't like Borders. You would actually go in there and buy something, and then you would browse.
Yes.
And then
you walk around with your bag.
Yes. And then buy something after.
I love it. That's why I'm upset about Best Buys. Nordstrom, I'm not really fashionable like that, but Joann's Fabrics, my daughter's like, that's her zone.
I love Joanne.
Right? Michelle, you know Miley makes clothing and stuff like that. Where is she going to go and get patterns and fabric to just waste?
She's only going to have Michael's.
Is Michael still around?
Michael's is still around, but I don't know. They don't carry a lot of fabrics, I remember. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I know they have more like arts and crafts, not so much fabrics.
Right.
Joanne is where, look, for any future fashionista who wants to have their stuff in the Nordstroms, you got to start at Joann's. But now, nope. Southern California, they're closing, I think damn near all of their stores in Southern California, which is going to really, really suck. Burlington, yeah, I like they had really good clothing. Urban Outfitters, I haven't been to Urban Outfitters since I was a kid, but I still think that all of these big businesses closing is a problem. But when you look at, as I said, started off in the beginning, how this impacts small businesses in particular, and how this new study is coming out saying that California is the #1 most expensive state to start a business, period. So you think about all of these major and well-known companies that are either leaving California or just shutting down across the country, and how hard it is now for small businesses to start. I mean, succeeding with a small business right now in California is over 20%. And this is way up from, 5 or 6 years ago, when most small businesses in California had at least 10% chance or lower of failing. Now it's up past 20. That's really risky. And what's really risky is when, say, you want to open up a restaurant, right? You want to open up your restaurant and you put all your money into it, and you and your family, your wife is working the cash register, your kids are waiting tables, and you're putting everything into it, right? You open up your restaurant and some SOB shows up across the street at the gas station with a table and a Foot Locker with meat in it, no sink to wash their hands, no nothing, just a hot grill, just cooking up meat. And you're standing at your restaurant like, so what is your grade over there? What you got? You got a F- over there? What is happening out here? And I think that's why I've seen more and more pop up clothiers where you just have someone who's opening up a tent and they got shoes and cell phones and all this. And this is where we're at, because here in California, starting up a small business is absolutely damn near impossible, and it's too expensive. You think living in California is something? Starting a small business right now for just commercial rent for just a regular location, we got $31.78 per square foot for your average small business. This is just out of control, when this can get you close to over $1 million per month, keeping your business alive. Hell to the no. Who's doing that? Who's doing $1 million? This is ridiculous. And unfortunately, this has to do with why some people are leaving California. But again, as I always say to those who may be leaving California, do not let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. And I encourage every small business owner to keep up the good fight, to know that I believe there is a future for small business, even though Targets and Walmarts are popping up everywhere. The importance of what you bring to the community is palpable. I mean, without the small businesses that are keeping, even I went into a local business today, boba shop, and I was asking them, what is your starting age for working? Because my daughter keeps telling me, I want a job, I want to make more money. And then she'll be 15 in about a month and a half. As I walked up, I'm just like, what is the starting age for you? And I believe it was like 16. I'm like, just outside. They said, but you know what? If your daughter has a work permit, maybe we can work something out. And right there, the notion, the idea that my daughter can get her beak wet and start working at some place that's in the community, a place where I trust the neighborhood, I trust where she could be. For me, that right there is why small businesses matter so much, because of what they can do for the family. Maybe I'm wrong, but I doubt that I am.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. This is Later with Mo Kelly. Tawala Sharp filling in for Mo, asking you, do you have what it takes to live in Southern California, or California, period? Or better yet, do you earn enough to live comfortably in California? I know this is something that we talk about off air a lot, especially Mark and I. We talk about just how expensive it is living in California, period. Just period. How we're probably on a weekly basis looking at different hovels to occupy.
Oh, there's no question. And the fact that something like the last figures I saw were between 65 and 67% now of people are living paycheck to paycheck nationally. Bump that up if you live in California.
Bump it up way up. There is a new study from Smart Assets that breaks down what you would need to live comfortably in a series of the most expensive cities to live in the country. I believe, according to the study, like 5 of the most expensive cities to live in the entire country are in California. And they've used, of course, their MIT living wage calculator, and it breaks down the 50-30-20 rule of suggesting that half of your budget be covering your needs, 30% goes towards wants, and 20% for debt and saving and all of that. But when you're living check to check, pretty much 100% goes towards you making it to the next check, which I don't know if this MIT calculator takes into account at all. And that's something that I think a lot of times when we're looking at it, we may be looking at how much people, the wealthier people living in California may be making, but that doesn't go for all of us. Just because we're living in California, we're not all balling. But as it did last year, Smart Asset found that cities on both coasts are the most expensive to live in, period. East and West Coast specifically, more so than inland and the Midwest and the like. But California takes the cake. I mean, an individual, just you, Mark, by yourself. If it was just you, if you were to live in, say, San Jose, you would need to be making $147,000 plus. Okay. If for some reason or another you
that's 147,000.
147,000.
Yeah. Okay.
Hell with that. Beautiful song aside. If you were to have 2 children out of nowhere, you would need some 371,000.
Those things cost you. You know that.
They do. In San Francisco, of course, that only goes up. New York, second most expensive city in the entire country if you are an individual at 136,000. But then right back to the West Coast, Anaheim, Irvine, and Santa Ana, 133. This is just what it takes to just be living comfortably. Okay? That comfortably translates to middle class for the most part. You're comfortable. You're not dying. All right. Then it may go over to Boston and Seattle, but then it comes right back to California with San Diego, Chula Vista, and San Diego and Chula Vista, 127,000. This is ridiculous that California, for an individual, this isn't families, because if I was to tell you a family in San Diego, Chula Vista, that's 327. I'm not 37. 327,000 a year. And this is just what it takes to live in Southern California, in some of the most expensive cities, and really just in Southern California, period. That is why a number, and I thought it was just me, I thought maybe I was alone in this, there are a number of people who aren't just working 2 jobs. Okay. There are a number of people that are actually working 2 full-time jobs. I work 2 full-time jobs. I am at a school all day. Then I got a little break in between where I could get in traffic and spend the entire rest of my afternoon in traffic getting over here. And then I'll be here all night. 2 full-time jobs. And there's a new report that's coming from the Bureau of Labor Statistics that says 8.9 million Americans have reported working multiple full-time jobs. This has got to stop. We have got to find some way around this madness. You want to talk about gutting the education department and all the other places that are shutting down. It's hard enough to start up a small business. All of these major businesses are shutting down, and it is too expensive to live here. Mayor Bass, I can tell you this right now. Before the end of this year, there's possibly going to be a lot more people that are homeless, living in trailers or in their cars. I can tell you that for a fact. If this is where we are at.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. This is Later with Mo Kelly. Yours truly, Tawala Sharp, filling in for Mo. And you know, we oftentimes will talk about the Southern California lottery or just the lottery period. And it is in these moments that Mo takes it upon himself to attack, to impugn the integrity of our Lotto captain, Michelle Kube. And I damn it, yes. And I am sick and tired of Michelle being attacked without having her say. Because yes, we know that there was a woman whose name is fake as all get out, Rosemary Casarati. Sure, that's your name. Yes, Rosemary Casarati. She won the biggest Southern California Mega Millions jackpot with the $1.2 billion in December. I can tell you for a fact that wasn't Michelle. How do I know? Michelle is here with us right now.
I'm here. Yes. No, it was not me. And it was not our Lotto pool. I'm very sorry.
It's okay. Because you know what? I am a diehard believer in your ability to gin up the magic. And for some reason or another, Mo wants to say, you know, we've had a win here, a win there. I haven't received anything from my pal. I keep trying to tell him it goes back into the pot. Yes. I don't know why people who enter Lotto pools don't understand the concept of you don't get paid out every time any nickel or dime comes in. That has to go back into us getting even more Lotto tickets.
Exactly. So we do our Lotto pool here. We have 83 people in the Lotto pool right now. Costs $40 a year for everybody to join, and that gets you every Mega Millions and Powerball draw every single week. And you know, I send the tickets out, so it's not like I keep them and then, oh no, we didn't win, but this one did. No, I send out the pictures of the tickets to everybody, so you guys know. So far this year, we have won $442. Right?
That's a lot of tickets for us to get.
That's pretty good. But we put it back into the pool. So now, if $442, if you guys want your $5.32 a person, I'll give it to you.
No.
But the way we have it structured is, you know, you pay your money and you're in. And I buy a certain amount of tickets a week that will, you know, cover us. You know, I think it's like $10 per draw just because that's how much we have in the pool. Mm-hmm. That's how much I can get, you know, without anybody having to pay anything else. So the rule of the Lotto pool is if we win $1,000 or less, the money goes right back into the pool to buy more tickets. And when I send the tickets out, I tell you exactly what we won and where I bought the extra tickets.
Yep.
And then if we win $1,001 or more, then we'll split it between the 83 people.
You know what? Damn that. I want to bet it all. I want it to all go back into, well, to me, it's the excitement every week. Every week, I know for a fact, if I don't make it to my favorite lucky retailer, if I'm like thinking, oh man, I feel really, really lucky, but damn it, I gotta hurry to get to the station. I can't stop anywhere. I'm like, oh, breathe a breath of relief because I know that you have taken care of us. We're covered, and it is better to be a part of a pool because that is how you win the big lumps.
Exactly.
I joined this pool because years ago, I had an opportunity to join a Lotto pool and I didn't. And the group that was put together the Lotto pool, they had won at a liquor store in LA. And I said to myself, damn.
I wasn't a part of it.
I wasn't a part of that. And it has burnt my biscuits ever since.
Well, and if we win the jackpot, the rule for the pool is we take the lump sum and then we split everything evenly. Now, let's break this down. This woman won $1.2 billion, right? That was the thing. So the lump sum of $1.2 billion is about $571 million. Yep. But then you got the federal taxes, which is 37%. No California state tax because they don't take the state tax out of lottery. And so that equals about $360 million total. Now, if it was our pool that won, we each would have gotten about $4.3 million.
That's nice.
Perfectly nice.
Now, okay. And see, this is something that we argue sometimes, either taking the lump sum or having it paid out in annuities. Because if we take if we were to have won this, we would get the $1.2 billion, then arguably we could get at least $500,000 or more a year for the next, 20, 30 years.
25 years. Yeah. The annuity does get you more money, but if you're the lotto pool captain, that's a pain in the neck. It's easier to take the last
Now, see, I thought about that, and that's why I'm glad we're having this conversation, because I've thought about long-term and big picture, how to make it where you, the lotto captain, aren't like burdened with taking care of that. If you put together a provision wherein if we get something like that, and the decision as a group is to get an annuity, then you just put it into a trust where the trust pays everyone out evenly. And then it's like, no, it's not on me. Yeah. It's in the trust. We all signed an agreement. We put it into a trust, and it's giving us a check. That way we know, look, I'm not going to be broke.
Right. And that's easy to say, but getting 83 people to sign an agreement is the hard part.
Yeah.
It's hard to wrangle. I mean, we used to do it where people could just contribute a few dollars a month, but then it was like, that's too hard for me to keep track of.
Right.
Here it is, $40 a year every January. If you want in, you're in. If you're not, you're not. And new employees, I cover them for the first 6 months. I give them 6 months. I'm like, hey, I'll cover you. You're a brand new employee. So we'll do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, here's what I love, that a long time ago you put it out there that you can put in more if you want.
Right.
But it doesn't entitle you to more.
Exactly.
That's all. You see, this is what I'm saying. See, Mo, you've got to leave our lotto captain alone. She has thought of every single thing. And when we win, you will rue the day that you chose to chastise Michelle on the air.
Yes.
I feel personally, when it comes to lotto pools, every dollar that goes in must be put in with the highest levels of positive energy, of light. We cannot have any doubty McDoubters in it at all. I don't want someone don't keep your money. We don't need your money if you're going to be like, we're not going to win, but I'll just get. No, we don't need that energy. This lotto pool is based on us knowing for a fact, we're claiming it. We're putting it to the universe that we are going to win.
Yep.
Anytime that we have not, all that is putting more into the karma pot of us just getting a bigger windfall.
I fully believe we will win at some point. And those people who are the negative Nellies, I don't want to hear it.
Don't want to hear it. Don't send out any questionable emails. And don't, good sir, get on the air and impugn the credibility of our lotto captain ever again, I say. Ever again. Oh.
How dare you, Mo?
Can't stand it. But we're going to stay positive. We are going to keep the light going. Michelle, thank you for coming in and clearing up any lotto confusion. And thank you for all that you did today to really help me get this show up and running. I truly, truly appreciate it.
You're
because
welcome.
Coming in and doing this out the blue on your own, it can be daunting. But I said to myself, nah, Michelle is there.
I got you.
Yeah, see? So I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. This is KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
The news has been updated. Click to refresh. KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.